Friends, you must be aware about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. We all know metals are hard, sonorous, lustrous. We can make them into thin sheets, or we can draw thin wires. This means metals are malleable and ductile. They can conduct heat too, but non-metals are neither lustrous, nor they make sound, nor they conduct heat. Now the question arises, do metals and non-metals conduct electricity? To perform this as a teacher, either you can demonstrate or you can perform an activity. So if you have to demonstrate it in your classroom, what one should do? Obviously, we have to involve our students. If we involve our students, then it becomes easier for them to understand. We all know, some students are very good at art and creativity. Some students can communicate very well. Some are good at planning and designing of experiments, and some can record the observations beautifully. So if we involve our students, experimentation becomes easier for them. Now, if you have to ask students to perform this activity individually or in a group, so when you make a group, you have to take care of the students that they have to have a heterogeneous group. So when I say heterogeneous group, this means that we need students of different abilities and background. Please don't forget that we have to involve children with special needs. So equal opportunity has to be given to all of them. To seek answer to this query, do metals and non-metals really conduct electricity? Let us perform this experiment. I have certain set of materials in front of me. What are we going to do? We are going to see whether these materials conduct electricity or not. The material which will conduct electricity, I am going to keep it on my left hand side, and the materials which do not conduct electricity, I am going to keep it on my right hand side. When you are performing this activity, remember, we have to ask our children to record the findings in a table. Either you can provide them this table, which I am showing you, or you can ask your students to make this kind of table. So, to start with the first material, I have an iron nail in front of me. When I touch the device with this, see what will happen. The bulb glows. So obviously, your children are going to note it down in the table. Similarly, when I am touching the aluminium foil, see, again the bulb glows. Now, if I touch this material, see, bulb does not glow. So, as I said initially, the material with which the bulb will not glow, I am going to keep it on my right hand side, and the material with which bulb glows, I am going to keep it on my left hand side. Now, can we try it with this? Let us see what will happen. See, the bulb glows. Again, I am going to keep it on my left hand side. Now, let me see what will happen with this material. Bulb is not glowing. So, again I am going to keep it on my right hand side. So, the material which could conduct electricity, we are going to take it on the paper in our observation table, and the bulb where it could not glow, that also we are going to note it down in this table. Now, as a facilitator, you have to conclude the materials which could conduct electricity are aluminium foil, an iron nail, and the lead of the pencil. And the material which could not conduct electricity. This was the sulfur powder and a piece of coal. So, from this we could conclude the materials which could conduct electricity are metals, and the one which could not conduct electricity were non-metals. But now the question arises, as a facilitator, you have to tell this to your students that graphite, which is a pencil lead, of course it's not a pure graphite, it has a binder clay in it. So you have to raise these questions to the student that this is non-metal, but it still conducts electricity. So we have to talk about the materials which are exceptions. For example, mercury is a metal. Usually metals are solids and hard, but mercury is a liquid. Similarly, iodine is lustrous, but it is a non-metal. So what have we concluded from this activity? What our children is going to learn through this activity, that we must take care. So what our students have achieved, they could do the experimentation. So they could plan and design. Since they have grouped material into two, one as metals and another as non-metals, so this means they could classify the material. If our students are able to classify the material, this means they are able to identify and they are able to differentiate. Not only that, since they have made observations honestly and they have reported honestly, so they exhibit honesty. Obviously, once they will be done with the experiment, they are going to clean the surroundings, so they are exhibiting the care for the environment. As I said earlier also, that we have to include children with special needs. So when we are demonstrating this activity, so kindly make it sure that when this experiment or this demonstration you are performing with these students, allow them to touch it so that they can feel what kind of experiment is going on. This is something very important. And since our sighted children can see bulb glowing, these children cannot see bulb glowing. So what should we do? They can touch this with hand, and they can see that bulb is little warmer. If possible, you can place a buzzer instead of this bulb so that they can hear a sound. So as a facilitator, let us involve all our children doing activities. This will help children to get involved in the process of science. Thank you.